They tell you to follow the rules, to play nice, to smile when you're broken, to say thank you. When they hand you crumbs, they teach you to kneel before you even know how to walk. And you listen, you obey, because that's what they want. A world of well-trained pets wagging their tails, waiting for permission to exist. But tell me, do lions ask for permission? Do storms apologize for destruction? No doesn't beg. Power doesn't wait. Power takes. And yet, they tell you power is dangerous, that wanting more makes you greedy, that fighting back makes you cruel. But that's a funny little lie, isn't it? Because the ones telling you to be good are the same ones who hold all the power, the same ones who take and take and take, while you sit there, empty-handed, whispering prayers to gods that don't listen. Wake up. There is no savior. There is no mercy. There is only what you make for yourself. They will call you selfish. They will call you a monster. Let them. They only call you dangerous when they realize you won't be their puppet anymore. Because the moment you stop asking for permission, the moment you stop waiting, they fear you. And fear is the only currency that truly matters. Do you think the world plays fair? Do you think justice is real? No. Justice is a story told by the winners. The strong write the rules, and the weak follow them. That's how it has always been. You were not made to bow. You were not made to kneel. You were born with fire in your veins, with chaos in your soul, with a hunger they could never understand. And yet they told you to tame it, to silence it, to smother it beneath guilt and shame. And you almost did. But tell me, where did obedience ever get you? Did it make you happy? Did it make you whole? Or did it just make you another face in the crowd, another number, another pawn in someone else's game? Because that's all you ever were to them, a piece to be played, a tool to be used, until you weren't useful anymore. But not anymore. Not you. Not today. You remember what you are. Today, you remember that the fire inside you was never meant to be tamed. Today, you stop being the victim and start being the threat. Let them call you wicked. Let them call you cruel. Because kindness never won a war. Because mercy never stopped a bullet. Because the ones who survive are the ones who dare to fight. And you are done hiding. You are done waiting. You are done bleeding for people who would never do the same for you. The world is not given, it is taken. So take it. And if they call you a villain, then so be it. Because in the end, the only difference between a villain and a hero is who's telling the story. They call it madness. I call it clarity. Because once you see the truth, you can never go back. You can never unsee the chains wrapped around your wrists, disguised as duty, tradition, morality. They convinced you that being good meant being weak, that being kind meant being used. And you believed them. Of course, you did. You were raised on their stories, their rules, their fragile little lies. But tell me, what did obedience ever bring you? A pat on the head, a slow death in a system that never cared about you. Look around. Do you see the heroes they promised? Do you see justice? No. You see greed wrapped in gold. You see cowards hiding behind laws they wrote for themselves. The strong take, the weak serve, and the world keeps spinning, pretending it makes sense. But it doesn't. It never did. It's a rigged game, and the only way to win is to stop playing by their rules. So what will you do? Will you sit there waiting, hoping, wishing? Or will you stand up and take what's yours? Because here's the truth they don't want you to know: there are no rules, no limits, no lines you cannot cross. There is only power, and those too afraid to claim it. And fear. Fear is the greatest leash of all. They keep you in line with fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of consequences. But what happens when you stop being afraid? What happens when you realize that fear is nothing but a shadow, a trick of the mind? You become free. and arrogance, and nothing terrifies them more than a person they can no longer control. Ah, control. That's what it's always been about, hasn't it? They don't want you thinking for yourself. They don't want you questioning. They want you quiet, obedient, predictable. Because a mind that dares to question is a mind they cannot cage. A mind that refuses to kneel is a mind that will burn their world to the ground. And maybe that's exactly what needs to happen. Maybe the world they built needs to burn. Because tell me, what has this world ever done for you? Has it given you peace? Has it given you happiness? Or has it just taken until there was nothing left? They used you. They shaped you into what they needed. A cog in their machine. A pawn in their war. A nameless, faceless, forgettable thing. But you are not forgettable. You are not replaceable. You are more. But they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to wake up. Because the moment you do, their game is over. And they need this game. They need you asleep, following, obeying. Because without their control, they are nothing. So wake up. Break the chains. Let them call you wicked. Let them call you ruthless. Let them fear you. Because fear is respect in its purest form. Because the only ones who call you cruel are the ones who can no longer use you. And if they call you a villain, then wear the name like a crown. Because the difference between a villain and a hero, it's just a matter of who's telling the story. You want more? Oh, how predictable. More fire, more chaos, more truth that you refuse to swallow. Well then, sit back and listen, because I'm not done yet. Not even close. They tell you to be patient, to wait your turn, to stand in line like a good little soldier. But what if the line never moves? What if the turn never comes? What if you wake up one day and realize you've spent your entire life waiting for something that was never meant for you? That's the trick, don't you see? They make you believe that if you suffer long enough, you'll be rewarded. But pain is not a currency. No one's keeping track of your sacrifices. No one is coming to give you a medal for your suffering. You either take what's yours or you rot where you stand. So which one is it? Are you a king or are you a ghost? Are you a storm or are you a whisper? Because the world does not remember the quiet ones. It does not bow to the weak. It only kneels to those who force it to. And yet they want you soft. They want you fragile. Because a strong mind is a dangerous mind. A sharp will is a weapon, and they will do anything to break it before you learn how to use it. So they feed you lies. They tell you kindness is strength. They tell you patience is a virtue. They tell you that if you are good, good things will come to you. And what a joke that is. Good things don't come to the good. They come to the ruthless, to the ones who dare, to the ones who aren't afraid to take. So tell me, what are you waiting for? Are you waiting for permission? Are you waiting for someone to come and save you? No one is coming. No one cares. The only thing standing between you and what you want is the illusion that you need to wait for it. Smash the illusion. Shatter it into dust. Because there are no rules. No one can tell you how to live, what to want, who to be. And yet, you hesitate. Why? Because they told you that to want is to be greedy, that to hunger is to be ungrateful. They taught you to feel ashamed for dreaming beyond the cage they built for you. But do you see the irony? The ones who tell you to be humble are the ones sitting on golden thrones. The ones who tell you not to be hungry are the ones who have already eaten their fill. They don't want you to starve because they care. They want you to starve because they fear what happens when you get a taste of power. Because power is addictive, isn't it? Once you've felt it, you can never go back. Once you've held it in your hands, the thought of losing it is unbearable. And that's why they hoard it. That's why they make you believe it's evil. Because they know that once you taste it, you'll never settle for anything less. And they can't have that. Because the moment you stop crawling, the moment you stand, the moment you take, their world crumbles. So burn their world. Tear down their illusions. Let them call you a villain. Let them scream. Because fear is the purest form of respect, and respect is something they will never give freely. You must demand it. You must command it. They will hate you for it. They will try to stop you. Because the powerful only stay powerful if the rest remain powerless. And you are not meant to be powerless. You are not meant to be tamed. So let them fear you. Let them whisper your name like a curse. Let them tremble when you walk into the room. Because the world belongs to those who refuse to kneel. And you are done kneeling. You crave more. Ah, how predictable. More destruction, more rebellion, more untamed truth. Well then, lean in and listen, because I'm just getting started. They tell you to be patient, to wait in line, to play by the rules. But what if the game is rigged? What if the line never moves? What if, after all your waiting, you realize you were never meant to win? That's their trick. They convince you that suffering earns you a reward. But pain is not a currency. No one is keeping score. No one is coming to repay you for your struggles. You either take what's yours, or you fade into nothingness. So what will it be? Are you a force to be reckoned with, or just another shadow on the wall? Are you the storm, or just the breeze that passes unnoticed? Because this world does not remember the meek. It does not favor the quiet. It bows only to those who command it to. And yet they want you docile, controllable. Because a mind that questions is a mind they cannot chain. A will that refuses to bend is a fire they cannot smother. So they teach you lies. They whisper that kindness is power, that patience is noble, that if you wait long enough, good things will come. What a joke. Good things don't come to the good. They come to the ruthless, to the bold, to those who are unafraid to take. So tell me, what exactly are you waiting for? Are you waiting for permission? Are you waiting for someone to hand your destiny? No one cares. The only thing between you and what you want is the illusion that you must wait. Rip apart the illusion. Grind it into dust, because there are no rules, no chains, no one to stop you but yourself. And yet you hesitate. Why? Because they've made you believe that wanting is greed, that hunger is shameful. They trained you to feel guilty for dreaming beyond the cage they built for you. But here's the truthing: the ones who tell you to be humble sit on golden thrones. The ones who say ambition is dangerous have already taken everything they wanted. They don't want you to starve out of kindness. They want you to starve so you never taste power, because power is intoxicating. Once you've held it, nothing else will do. Once you've felt it, the thought of losing it is unbearable. And that's why they hoard it. That's why they demonize it. Because they know, once you feel it, once you taste it, you will never go back. And that terrifies them. Because the moment you stop crawling, the moment you stand, the moment you dare, their empire trembles. So set fire to their world, tear down their illusions, let them call you a monster. Let them curse your name, because fear is respect in its rawest form, and respect is never given freely. You must seize it. You must demand it. They will hate you for it. They will fight to contain you, because their power only exists if you remain powerless. And you were never meant to be powerless. You were never meant to be tamed. So let them fear you. Let them murmur your name like a legend. Let them shudder when you enter the room, because the world belongs to those who refuse to bow. And you are done bowing.